Now the first thing you need to do, you need to think about your shot. How do you want to shoot this? Now, there's only one way you can really shoot this. If you look, to your right as you look, you can't really see much over there, and there's not a lot of interest on the left. So my panorama is going to start and finish around about a GoPro kind of angle. So, shot settings. First thing you're going to need to do, you're going to have to jump over to manual. Now, what you can do is you can use the exposure reader to choose your exposure. Now, what I've done, I've selected an exposure of f14. I'm on the average. In fact, I'm going to drop my ISO down a little bit because we've got lovely sunshine behind us. I'm going to drop it to 250. I've selected an aperture of f14, and if I just point it at the waterfall, it's telling me I'm actually underexposed. So I'm going to drop that to f11, f80, bang on exposed. Right, okay. So the next thing I want to talk about is actually how to get a really nice panorama and to save you from wasting any pixels in Photoshop. So again, follow me in. Now what you want to do is, a little trick that I've learned is, use your thumb, your left thumb, because you don't need to autofocus, you don't need your hand on the zoom at all. So just use your thumb as a pivot, like so, when you're shooting, because when you do look at this back in Photoshop, you will see that the middle bit will warp and the top bit will stretch, or you will get a line like that if you're following your scene that way. So think about that. So just try and use your thumb as a pivot. Now, so also make sure your autofocus is turned off, because every single shot your camera will try and recompose. You don't want that. You want to set your autofocus on your first shot. So I'm going to just go ahead and do it really quickly, because as you might be able to see, there's quite a lot of spray coming from this ridiculous waterfall. There's about 1, 2, 3, there's about 6 different waterfalls here. So I'm just going to wait for the wind to drop, and then I'm going to shoot. Just while I'm waiting, I wanted to talk to you about something. Spray. Always try and keep your camera facing away, because I've noticed this the last few days, when you're shooting waterfalls, you will encounter spray, and it ruins, it's the death of photography, because you set up for a beautiful long exposure, and about 3 seconds in, you get loads of spray, so it's not good. Okay, so I think I'm going to try and do this as quickly as possible. So come in, and I'm going to use live view, so I'm not looking through the camera, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to try and catch that rainbow, and let's go. And what I do is I count out loud. I sound like an idiot. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Notice each time I'm overlapping each photo by about 40 or 50%. And we'll do one more. I'm just checking them back. That looks pretty good. Now off camera I'll probably do one more just to double check for safety. But that is how you shoot a panorama, and when I get back to England I'm going to show you on the computer how we stitch it together. Okay, so I've actually found probably a better perspective. If you can just see over there where those people are, over the back, that's where we were. I've actually found a better perspective here. The reason I've found a better perspective is down here you can actually see the fall of the water on this sort of the bigger fall on the bottom. So what I want to do is really capture the depth and sheer size of that. So one thing I didn't mention on the last up there was choose to shoot horizontal or vertical. It doesn't really matter. You'll cover more ground if you do horizontals, but vertical I always find is better because you can cram more photos in, which means you can get a bigger, you can cram more pixels in your image. And I don't mean like the average shot here, let's say this is 20 million pixels. A 7-8 image panorama, you've got an image is big enough to, probably as big as that, you could probably fill a massive billboard. So what I'm trying to say is just choose to shoot horizontal or vertical, but try not to waste too many shots. On my memory card saying I've got 13 shots to go, so I've got to use them wisely. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go vertical. I'm going to set autofocus. I'm going to focus right on the distance, and so then I know I'm at f8, so I'm going to change that to manual. I'm going to stay where I was at f11. I'm going to focus on the distance. Yep. and then just jump over to manual. Okay, so I'm going to do exactly the same thing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now one thing I do if that makes sense, is sometimes you might want to get the sky in, so I'll just quickly show you how to do that. I don't know whether I'll actually take this to edit or not, but I'm going to do a 4 image wide, and I'm going to get the sky, and if you can see the side of a rainbow, so I'll show you how I do that. Pretty obvious. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, count them out loud if you have to. So we're going a bit wider this time, and always shoot a bit wider than you think you need, because you will almost certainly have to crop your image. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the Spanish watchers and subscribers. Yeah, that looks good. In fact, I'm going to make that a 6. So I'm going to do that one more time. Let's start at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Full card, but you get the picture. Okay, so I'm signing off now from Iceland, and you'll join me on the computer tomorrow when I'm going to be going through the edit. See you soon. Cheers.